Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Prof. Lani. So I'm thinking of a way to also help students who are offering government, since I'm a government tutor. So I have an idea of dropping topics in government that are very crucial and important to students that they can be able to learn from and get the best out of it. So today we'll be doing military rule, to be precise, in Nigeria. For us to get this topic very well, I want to establish a foundation of the term military rule. So my aim of today's video is to define military rule and the types of military coup d'etat. In our next video and other videos, we will talk more about military rule in Nigeria. So if you have been asked, what is the meaning of military rule? Now, military rule is a rule that is controlled or headed by the armed forces, or the khaki boys, or the men on uniform. So it's a rule or a system of government that is controlled by people that fight war against other countries. And these people are called the what? Armed forces. So if you have been asked, who are the armed forces in Nigeria? Now, the armed forces are people that fight war against other countries, and they also have to protect the territorial integrity of the country. So it means that these people are the ones that make sure that our rights, lives, safety, properties are protected against other countries. So don't base the activities within the country except the need arises, that is emergency time. So the armed forces in Nigeria are just three. Take note, there are three. And they are called the Army, they are called the Navy, and they are called the Air Force. Now, police is not part of the armed forces. Police, CFCC, NAFDAC, NDLEA, FRSC, they are all called paramilitary. So take note of that. These people are the ones that maintain peace and orderliness within the country. With that in mind, let's go back to our discussion for today, military rule. Now, since we are going to establish the meaning of military rule, let's look at the word now, coup d'etat. So what's coup d'etat now? Coup d'etat means the military takeover of government from the civilian government. It is the forceful takeover from government from a civilian government. A civilian government is a government that is ruled by a democratic ruler or leader. That is a government that is headed by a president in a particular country. So coup d'etat now is now when the military people, military personnel, they make use of force or other means to remove the civilian government from office. Now, bonus. In Africa as a whole, we experienced our first military coup in 1952, and this happened in Egypt. And in West Africa, we experienced our own first military coup d'etat in 1963, and Nigeria as a country experienced our own coup d'etat on January 15, 1966. So Africa is a continent, and Africa as a continent consists of 54 countries, and West Africa is part of Africa, and it consists of 16 countries. These 16 countries, 9 speak French, and they are called Francophone speaking countries. 5 speak English, and they are called Anglophone speaking countries. 2 speak Portuguese, and they are called Bourgeoisophone speaking countries. So Nigeria as a country experienced our own first military coup d'etat, that has taken over of government from civilian government on January 15, 1966. As soon as we have experienced the meaning of coup d'etat, now what are the types of coup d'etat? Now this type of coup d'etat is going to help us once we are explaining military rule in Nigeria, because I'll be making scenarios of the kind of coup that took place in Nigeria from the year 1966 to 1998. Now, all this period of time at the time that the military government spent in Nigeria ruling us. Wow, was a lengthy period. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video so far so good, do well to subscribe, like, share, and tell us a comment in the comment section. Okay. Now, types of coup d'etat. Now, we have some types of coup d'etat, and I'll share with you coup d'etat that we have in this video. So, we have bloody coup d'etat, we have bloodless coup d'etat, we have abortive coup d'etat, we have counter coup d'etat, and we have palace coup d'etat. So the coup d'etat that we see on the board, you can have more than this, but this were the coup that took place in Nigeria that was used by military head of state to enter into power in Nigeria. So we have the bloody coup d'etat. Now, bloody coup d'etat is the type of coup d'etat that involves the splitting of blood. It means that this type of coup d'etat now involved shedding must be involved. Is the forceful takeover of government from civilian government that involve the lives of people. So people must die when it comes to a bloody coup d'etat. Now take note that coup d'etat can also happen between military to military personnel, meaning that military governments can be removed by a militant or a part of military who does not love the government of that current military government. So it can happen to a civilian government and also was a military government. But in most cases, normally happen to a civilian government. Now, bloody coup d'etat. So Nigeria as a country experienced this coup d'etat during the first coup we have in Nigeria that was plotted by General Emeka Nzeogwu. So in this bloody coup d'etat, people like Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, they were killed in the coup. This is what we call a bloody coup d'etat. You have a bloodless coup d'etat, type of coup that does not involve blood shedding. So this one was used by Abacha to remove the interim president, the person of NS Shoyinka. So in Shoyinka, when he was handed power by Babangida to be interim president of Nigeria, Shoyinka was not killed by Abacha. Why? Because he made a peaceful agreement with Abacha and he left power. It's called what a bloodless coup d'etat. We have an abortive coup d'etat. From the word abortive, meaning that it did not materialize. Now this was used by Colonel Dimka when he killed Murtala Muhammad as Nigerian head of state. So he plotted the coup, right? The coup happened, but did not become the president of Nigeria. This kind of coup d'etat is called an unsuccessful coup d'etat. The coup that was plotted, but the person that plotted the coup did not later become the head of state of Nigeria. We call that kind of coup an abortive coup. Then we have a counter coup d'etat. Counter coup, like a retaliation. We are paying back what has happened. Type of coup that is done to correct an action that was done in the first place, or to pay back an action that has taken place in the first place. Now, you believe with me that when Abu Irosi became the first military head of state of Nigeria, he was from the eastern part of Nigeria. At that particular period of time, Azikiwe was known as our president. But was he killed? No, he was not killed. Now, most prominent members from the eastern part of Nigeria were not also killed in the coup of 1966. So according to some historians, they believe that that coup was a tribalistic coup. So in that same year, July 25th, a counter coup was scheduled that moved the government of Aguiyi Ironsi that made General Yakubu Gowon to become the next military head of state of Nigeria. So the coup was done to correct the first coup that took place in Nigeria. And we have the palace coup. And the palace coup is a coup that is done by a member of the executive council of the military head of state. This palace coup was staged by General Babangida that was used to remove President Muhammad Buhari as Nigeria military head of state. So we have explained the type of coup, we have explained the meaning of military rule, will explain the coup that happened in Africa, West Africa, and in Nigeria. The next video will now go in depth to military rule in Nigeria. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and tell us your view about this video. I remain Prof. Linus.